You shall bind them as a sign upon your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. Sounds poetic, right? Some say it's just a metaphor, but what if it's not? What if this is one of the clearest examples of how the Torah's commandments, both written and oral, interlock like hand and glove? Welcome to today's episode. I'm going to show you how tefillin, those small black boxes worn by observant Jews, aren't just a rabbinic tradition or mystical invention. They're grounded in the literal meaning of the Torah, confirmed by archaeology, and defended by some of the sharpest academic critiques. The Mitzvah of Tefillin presents an unusual case in biblical interpretation. On one hand, the plain text, or PESHAT, can sound symbolic, a sign on your hand, a remembrance between your eyes. It could be a metaphor, like, keep this close to your heart. And indeed, the Samaritans interpret it that way. But Judaism has always maintained a deeper tradition, the oral law, that insists this verse commands an actual physical object. This isn't a poetic suggestion, it's law. The truth is, the PESHAT doesn't deny the possibility of a literal command. It's just ambiguous. And in such cases, the halakhic tradition, the Masorah, steps in as the deciding voice. The Torah wasn't just meant to be read, it was meant to be lived. Let's go deeper. Consider these verses. And it shall be a sign upon your hand and a memorial between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates. Deuteronomy 6:8-9. Now no one thinks write them on your gates is a metaphor. It clearly refers to the mitzvah of mezuzah, a written text physically attached to your door. So why assume that bind them on your hand is symbolic? It appears in the exact same context, one verse apart. The Torah uses the word ot, sign, consistently to refer to tangible objects. The rainbow in Genesis 9, circumcision in Genesis 17, the blood on the doorposts in Exodus 12, even Aaron's staff in Numbers 17. There's no example in the Torah where ot refers to a pure metaphor with no physical expression. This word always implies something real, visible, touchable. Skeptics argue that tefillin are a late invention. Some academics even date them to the Hellenistic period, claiming they were Jewish imitations of Greek amulets. But the evidence tells a different story. Tefillin scrolls were found in the Judean desert and even at Qumran, home of a breakaway sect. The Septuagint and the Letter of Aristeas, Hellenistic Jewish works, mention tefillin. The New Testament itself, Matthew 23:5, refers to phylacteries, another term for tefillin. Even rival Jewish groups like the Sadducees and other sectarians didn't deny the existence of tefillin. Some wore round tefillin, others plated theirs in gold, but none claimed the mitzvah didn't exist. If tefillin were a late rabbinic innovation, how do you explain their presence across all these communities, even outside mainstream Pharisaic Judaism? The Torah says, it shall be a sign on your hand. Why not on your hands? Every other time, the Torah uses the plural. But here, it's singular, implying a specific placement. Then there's the word totafah, translated as frontlets. In Rabbinic Hebrew, a totafeh is a decorative band worn above the eyes. Think of a coin pendant hanging from a string. In North African and Bedouin cultures, these are worn across the forehead. This isn't poetry, it's geography, it's anthropology, it's real. Even the placement, between your eyes, matches how such ornaments were worn. Not literally between the eyeballs, but on the forehead, facing the space between the eyes. And the tradition adds depth. The shin embossed on the tefillin stands for Shaddai, an ancient name of God. This wasn't randomly added. It reflects an authentic, pre-rabbinic understanding of the mitzvah's symbolism. One scholar, Yehuda Cohn, suggested tefillin were Hellenistic inventions influenced by Greek magical amulets. But Dr. Yonatan Adler, an academic archaeologist, shut that theory down. Adler's critique, published in Zion Journal, highlights several key flaws. Cohn's evidence is circumstantial. The Qumran finds are not representative of broader Jewish practice. His assumption that rabbinic silence on tefillin's magical role proves suppression is, at best, speculative. In short, there's no smoking gun, just assumptions piled on top of weak inferences. And as Adler notes, if the entire Jewish world had actually invented tefillin in the Hellenistic period, where are the debates, the rejections, the polemics? They don't exist, because tefillin were already a universally accepted tradition. Tefillin aren't just boxes with scrolls. They're a bridge between word and deed, memory and identity, past and present. They show us that the written Torah and the oral Torah are not rivals. They are partners. The physical and the spiritual, the law and the legend, the command and the custom, they all meet in this small black box strapped to a Jewish arm every morning. And that is no metaphor. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, Give it a like, subscribe for more Torah-based analysis with historical depth, and share it with someone who's ready to rethink what they thought they knew.